Hello, Big League here, doing a review of the Cubot Magic. This is a 4G phone, and it's trying to be like the Samsung Edge, where it's got a curved glass pretty much all the way to the edge, and it still has a bit of the bezel, but it's a very good-looking phone. If I turn this off, it looks like glass all the way from top to bottom. And the back, I want to show you here. I removed the cover to show you the small battery. It's 2300 milliamps. It's actually the same size as the iPhone 6s. And there's the two SIM card slots and the micro SD. It has two cameras. One is 13 megapixels and one is 2 megapixels. There's the micro USB and the headset jack. So it doesn't take any micro USB-C. The bottom is the speaker and the mic. So there's just a single speaker, and I don't know where the mic slot is. It could be this. But let me show you the back cover. It's plastic, it's also glossy, and it can attract fingerprints and scratches quite easily. But it comes with a case here. It has, interestingly enough, a certification by the person who tested this, including the person's email and telephone number and their signature. This is the QA who tested that. That's quite interesting in that they want to combat a lot of QA issues that come out of China. So this is the iPhone 6s. So I'm going to show you, the screen is actually a little smaller than this. The screen is a tad taller. It's a little bit taller. You see how it just cuts off here, but there's a bit left here when they're matched up at the bottom. Let me just show you the performance of this. It's actually quite slow compared to this. This is like, the benchmark was like 120,000 points, and on this was 29,000 on an Antutu benchmark. And you can see that it is Android 7, but it's 32-bit, even though the CPU is 64-bit. It's got 3 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of hard drive space, storage, ROM. You can see that it's got the rear camera. It didn't register the other camera, interestingly. And the front facing is 5 megapixels. I want to point out that there's also a flash in the front as well to do selfies, lit selfies, and a light at the back as well. I want to show you that the camera is actually quite competent. It's sharp, but it still faces the usual plague of being too noisy. So I already took a few photos of this, of my cat here. Let me just catch him. Right. And it's just you could see here, unfortunately it's overexposed because it's actually not the phone but the camera to the screen. The screen is really bright. Let me just lower this down. Here we go. You can see that his whiskers are picked off, and yeah, you see how it's very noisy, but then they tried to blur that out. That could be actually my hand. Yeah, see, it's a little sharper here. So the lens is actually quite sharp. And also the dynamic range is quite, let me show you, the dynamic range this is without the flash. And you could capture some of the blue skies as well as the shaded face of the building. And this is actually quite dark, as you can see the walkway light has turned on because it was too dim, but it can still capture this. So I was quite impressed for this very budget phone. Let me just lastly just play a YouTube video to show you the audio on this. It's actually not bad, and the vibration I'm feeling is also quite strong. So let's just play this. There you go. And you can see it's quite responsive. So I was impressed with this phone because it's only $100 or 100 pounds. It's nice to look at, and it's definitely something I don't mind losing on the trip. If I were to lose my iPhone 6s, which is like 5 times or 6 times more than this, it would, be a bigger heartache. So yeah, considering it takes two SIMs, you could definitely travel around the world with this. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you like to see more reviews, just like and subscribe. If you think it's helpful, please provide a helpful vote. Peace out.